Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. We are zooming in and focusing in on a great viewer question, and that is, how do you handle the feeling of defeat when you have gone through the devalue and discard stage with someone who has been perhaps a good influence but is now turned into a bad influence, or an influence is causing a lot of struggle. You're feeling ostracized, you're feeling shut out, you're feeling like you weren't given a fair shot or chance in the relationship, and you're really just sort of feeling defeated or shut out. And one thing that's important to understand with controlling people is that they are controlling. Controlling people are controlling. They're going to move other people in a relationship like a puppet. Jump when I say jump, dance when I say dance, talk when I say talk, silence when I say silence. And this is, if this is a relationship among your peers, there's really no reason for you to stay in a controlling relationship where you are mistreated, you are ostracized, you are shut out. You're made to feel like sometimes I'm in, sometimes I'm out, kind of like the old clique system at work where, you've got the popular, buddy buddies, and you've got this group over here, and you've got the math people. If you think back in the day, how immature those cliques were and how people would try to break in or break out of popularity circles, and it would cause people to do some, very contentious or scandalous things to try to get in a group, in with the jocks, etc., where perhaps because of social conformity and social psychology mechanisms, you felt like if you didn't get approval from this person or approval from this group, you were unpopular, you were unliked, you were misfit, all these names, and really sort of a stigma follows this sort of feeling of being defeated or shut out. The stigma is something for you to pay attention to, and a stigma oftentimes is created by the self. It is the way that you interpret meaning from being included or excluded, from being in versus out, that whole polarity of existence. Is that really a condemning situation for you? Why would you want to ask yourself, why would I want to be in a relationship with someone who is controlling? No one should be controlling of your fate other than you and the creator. In fact, a lot of us aren't really in control. There's other forces at control. We can't always control the outcome of things. And perhaps it's a good skill to learn is that of release and not trying to control the outcome of things. To do that is to commit yourself to a life of struggle and unhappiness, because unexpected events are going to come your way. You're going to lose the keys. Your tire's going to go flat. You're going to forget to pick something up at the grocery store, etc., etc. And though the severity changes, we cannot always control situations. We can only control how we react and how we handle. So if someone has got you feeling in a stigma, a label of being a shut out, of being not included, of being isolated, oftentimes realize that that is a stigma which you carry around and are assigning. And is that really worth it to you to commit yourself to this unhappiness, to be able to say, I'm a loser, they don't love me, I'm unlovable? You're drawing all these conclusions from a relationship with a manipulator. Remember, controllers love to control others, whether it's by proximity, by whether you're living with them, close to them, or whether you're at a distance. The most important thing you can do is get distance from a controller. You need to get distance from a controller through time and space, getting outside of their influence and getting into another sphere of influence, another circle of influence, where you can be amongst peers, others, supporters, good, kind people with empathy, versus those who are trying to conceal, deceive, create intimidation, manipulate through fear, manipulate through intimidation. When we really look at the tools of manipulation, oftentimes fear and intimidation, and that sort of threatening, condemning hostility or projection is what is the controlative factor. That's and also the curative factor. It's to tell yourself, that you're grown up enough now that you don't need a controller in your life. You need someone who you can be interdependent on. In other words, give and take. Relationships are about a two-way street. It's not about a one-way street where this person gets to wave a wand, pull the puppet strings, and you jump, dance, lay down, sit, roll over like a pet. You are not to be trained or programmed to do only what this person says. To do so is to give up your free will. It's to give up your own emotional etheric body. It's to give up your own cosmic body. It's to give up your connection to your authenticity and your creativity. To live life with a controller is to admit that you are too weak to leave them. The controller will control you till the cows come home, until you are strong enough to walk away. Put one foot in front of the other, put the keys in the ignition, crank the start, rev her up, and then start a driving. Start holding, your life elsewhere. Do not commit to a life of being controlled, because it'll always set you up for disappointment and depression. Controlling people love to control. Victimizers love to victimize. Supportive people love to support. Happy people love to encourage happiness in others. And do you see how this can cause misery? It's okay to identify the cause of misery. The controller wants to conceal the source of misery. In other words, never let you live your truth. That is, they will never live themselves down. The controller always wants to be the winner. There's always going to be a conflict consciousness. There's always going to be a struggle and a fight involved. There's always going to be a battle of the wills. These people love a fight. Maybe not you. Maybe you are not, looking for a fight. Some people are looking for a fight. If you have found this in your love, if you have found this in your family, if you have found this in your workplace, it is unequivocally time to cut the cords, cut the strings, cut the bond, cut the stigma, cut the notice on the door, take off the nameplate of the badge that you're wearing day in and day out, change your hat, change your shoes, put one foot in front of the other and say adios, bye-bye, here's a quarter, call someone who cares, and then just make your move. It's time to take action. Enough of muddling, befuddling, and questioning why me, because you can ask why me for many, many years until you eventually come to the acceptance this happened. Despite your goodness, despite your authenticity, despite how well you treated this other people, or how many beatings you took, emotional neglect, criticism, and being controlled to appease this person, your life will remain severely limited if you live your life living to please others, living up to their expectations, an external source of control. It's very important that you take back your power, your source of control, your free will, and reclaim it, and stop giving your power away to others. Enough is enough. It is not a good life to live disempowered. It is about being empowered, getting power within yourself and being able to experience this. If you are around others who don't want that existence for you, their vision for you is to see you down and out, angry, triggered. Yes, there are people who that is their vision of others. People who are narcissistic, psychopathic, controllers, manipulators, mean people, abrasive people, whatever you want to call them, the label is not important. All that is important is the effect and influence that is occurring to you and your immediate life. So if you are feeling defeated, disempowered, unloved, shut out, isolated, ostracized from the controlling snippets that this person has either treated you as, whether it's, oh, I forgot to call you, I forgot to text you, I forgot that we were going out, I'm now seeing this person, whatever bunch of excuses that you've had to have shoveled your way, the mean things, the rude things, get them out of your sphere of influence, get them out of your etheric body, begin to release them and purge them out and say no more. I am no longer being controlled by this person. I am setting them free. And I'm cutting the cord. I'm cutting the trauma bond. Even if I have to take a 3-foot pair of scissors and cut it off, go and get that 3-foot pair of scissors in your mind and cut it off. Enough is enough. You don't need a trauma bond to spend your, to span your lifetime. You don't need a trauma bond to span 3,000 miles. If you are still living in the house or the location of your abuser, it's unequivocally time to say, I need a clean slate, and do whatever is required to give yourself an exit strategy. You need to give your life the opportunity to, really sort of ignite and empower your free will, your rights, your human inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I know we have a lot of international viewers here, perhaps about 40%, who have different, ideologies. In the U.S. Constitution, it talks in our Constitution about the life you are given, human inalienable rights, which mean cannot be taken from you, human inalienable rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. If this is not your preamble, if this is not your constitution, if this is not how you're living your life, you need to really take a look and snap out of it. Stop saying, the main excuse that keeps people in this being defeated attitude is, I have so much time to heal. I need more time. This is going to take another month. This is going to take another year for me to move. It's going to take another 10 years for me to get this right. Stop making the excuses to yourself that it's going to take so long. Be able to get yourself ignited and emblazoned and really sort of fired up. Get the heat under where to get yourself going and really embrace this truth. Your human right. Stop being controlled. Stop flinching and flailing and being at the mercy of someone who is a manipulator. Despite their momentary persona or facade that, let me just do this, let me just do that. And then next thing you know, you're, think the relationship is humming along, and then here it comes again. And then you tell yourself, see, I told you so. Begin to release these people. Set the abuser free. Let them go. Do not seek retaliation. Do not seek to have a healing discussion, shake hands, move on amicably, come to closure, discuss what went wrong, what went right, waiting for them to admit their fault, maybe admit, I'm sorry. Perhaps a lot of people are seeking compensation from this individual, retaliation. Oh, I'm going to, do this. I'm going to report them to the police. I'm going to, create a civil lawsuit, whatever it is, I want divorce papers. I want half the assets, all these sort of things. If you're seeking compensation from these people, either in terms of apologies, monetary, you're maintaining the trauma bond. You are maintaining that. So look on really setting them free. Think about that as your marching orders for the day. Excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. And really let them go. Get some time and space and distance between your body, mind, and spirit and their influence. Begin to seek a new circle of influence in your life. You need a support group. You need peers. You need others like you. You need people who are not seeking to control you, trap you, ensnare you, pull one over, pull the wool over your eyes, make funny with you, put on a facade, a mask, and then later you get the big reveal. Look, OMG, they did this to me. I saw this coming, but I didn't want to, speak up. begin to pay attention to your rigorous truth. Begin to embrace your truth. Because the truth is like a flame. It will fill you with a light body. It'll fill you with the cosmic body. It'll fill you with quantum healing. It'll take you and your happiness to that next level where happiness won't disappoint you. Happiness will be with you day in and day out. Once you make this maneuver, once you make this proclamation, once you make this declaration, the Declaration of Independence. Just think of how powerful that statement is back in the day when the United States was declaring their independence from the Queen England, from their land, their land of origin. The Declaration of Independence. We the people of the United States. Go ahead and read. Go ahead and all of you look, for your own sake, because, back in the day, the 1700s, in good old, happy England, they wanted to control and say, you will all be of this religious persuasion. You didn't have right to religious freedom, and you had to be, and in that religious belief. Otherwise, bad things would happen. So it's like a lot of people are like, hell no. We won't go. We're not doing this. We're not going to live this puritanical, limited, restricted life. We're not going to be told what to believe. We're not going to be told and live under this constraint. So, they went off. I mean, Declaration of the Declaration of Independence, and just look at the Constitution. Nothing is perfect. And so you have to embrace the uniqueness of each country. But look at some of the lessons and perhaps some of the precepts that make sense to you in your own life. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Religious freedom, things of that nature. Is that a truth? Is that your truth? Is that your flame? Is that your passion? Begin to ignite that. Set a candle for yourself with this intention. This is, light a candle today. If you don't have one, go get one. This is my candle of gratitude. This is my candle of integrity. This is my candle of faith. This is my candle of bliss. This is my candle to my eternal spirit. Begin to light your candles and really with intention, and then allow yourself to kind of meditate and reflect on that. You will see the flame burning strong. Let that flame of passion, of self-determination burn strong within you. Let happiness burn strong within you today. Do not give in to being controlled. Don't give in to that darkness. Don't give in to that disempowered state. You can do it. You have the power and the Creator within, dwelling within you. Please acknowledge and validate that, and give a testimony, a testament to yourself, and witness the change that can come with this realization. This is your buddy, Peace and Harmony, with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share, please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Peace out. Love you.